In today's video, I'm going to talk about the beautiful Anthurium Andraeanum. These are amazing plants. I'll show you the ones that I have. And I decided to do this video because, tell me, does this look real to you? These plants have the most beautiful blooms, and they are different colors, and you can see they look so amazing. Look at this one. This is very dark, and here when it's smaller it's a little bit dark burgundy. Look at this one. Yeah. And I never saw before an orange one, and look how pretty they are. I love these plants. These plants have beautiful large leaves. Even the one with small leaves are so pretty. Like all the leaves look different. Some are closed. Some look like a little bit closed. You know, we have a different shape. These are larger, and I think these plants are so cheap right now because so many people are growing them and sell them, and we know that these plants, their flowers can stay for very long in bloom. They use it for flower bouquets. They're like really nice and steady plants. Like you can have this bloom for like months at a time. It would stay for a long time and then it will rebloom again. And when I was cleaning it, I believe I saw more coming out, like right here, and somewhere else I saw different ones coming and leaves. So it's always in bloom. So I really like how these are like such bright, and then it goes like green in color. You almost cannot see it. It's like a peekaboo flower. And I love how they are different sizes, and when you look at a plant like this with a couple of blooms, you are like, oh wow, this is pretty. Look at this one, is trying to open. This one last its pistil, and it's very amazing how these plants can actually make your day going better. So I want to tell you some from my experience. I used to have this plant, a plant like this, that was so much taller and so much more leaves and flowers. And what I did, I fertilized it. And I fertilized it with a fertilizer for alocasias. And apparently the fertilizer was so hard and so strong that in a week period I just lost it. It got yellow, it died. So one of the reasons for that is that I didn't know that I was supposed to actually rinse the soil. So they are saying that if you over fertilize these plants, you want to rinse the soil, and that way it will help the roots to heal and the plant to revive itself. I have these plants, some of the smaller ones, I believe like this, but it was white, and it lost all its leaves. It lost everything. It was just a small um, bottom, like a small trunk at the bottom, and uh, in a year period when it started to, I guess, it's time to rebloom again, it just revived itself and it started to give new leaves and new flowers. Unfortunately, I lost that plant too. It liked only one spot in my house, and I changed it because I bought a bigger plant and I wanted to stay there, and then I moved it so it didn't like where I placed it. So these plants grow at the bottom of the forest in a tropical environment with not too much lights. So what we want to do actually for them is give them indirect sunlight, and not sunlight, indirect light. And we want it to be bright but indirect. And we want to give it humidity. The leaves really like to have water, and we need to keep the soil moist but not soggy. Right now they are potted in sphagnum moss. That's the way I bought them. But what they like is like an arid soil, and it likes it chunky, but also likes it steady. So you want probably to mix the arrowhead soil regular a little bit so it can hold the water as well. And you, as always, when you water it, you just need to get it out and then get rid of excess water. If your plant doesn't bloom, you want, I mean, it means that it's either not having enough water, or it's not, the soil doesn't have any more of the elements it needs. So I want to try fertilizing it, and also the lightning. These plants don't like cold, so you want to keep it in 60 to 70 degrees, and you want to keep it away from the windows, because windows can get colder, and that way your plant will suffer. So when you water it, usually you need to check the soil. You put your finger in and you can feel it. These are well moist, so you don't have to do it now. But when the soil is not moist enough, it's dry, you want to actually give it water. If you let it dry, don't let it bone dry, don't let the soil completely dry. That's going to be bad for your plant. Even though they can survive it, you'll see issues on the leaves, you'll see issues on the plants, on the flowers, on absolutely everything. Fertilization, they are not very, very picky. They don't really need too much fertilization, but if you do that, you make it very diluted, and don't do it too often. If your leaves are yellowing, it most likely means that it either didn't have water or too much water, not enough light or too much light. So as you see, it's basically, you need to play it by the ear. You need to look around. You need to figure out what's happening. Maybe change its place. Other than that, it's really, really pretty. It's going to stay in bloom for a long, long time. If you find that your plant doesn't flower, you might want to give it more light. Usually, these plants won't bloom and grow too much if they don't have enough lights. And also check the watering. You don't want your plant to go completely dry, and you don't want to overwater it. So if you know that you're overwatering, then you might want to cut on that. If you know that you don't water enough, you might want to help it with a little extra water. Also, these plants are not known to be doing good in pots that are from clay. Like, sorry for the mess, but like, of course, like this one. So if you have pots like this, you need to make sure that you water it more often. For these plants, it's recommended to have actually them stay in a plastic pot, and then you can put it in another ornamental pot you would like to. So this is basically it. This is the plant you will enjoy. And tell me you don't really love how these plants look like. Oh, I didn't see this one. Look how pretty it is. Look, they are so beautiful that they almost look like plastic, you know, they almost look like they are not real, not from this world. Look how dark these ones are. Very, very dark. And the new leaves, oh God, they look so pretty. And look at these ones as well. I think you can appreciate the beauty of this plant in any stage of its flowering time, even if it's just starting to bloom and it gives you this beautiful pinkish with green. Here's a brand new one. Or if it's already getting older and it gets fully green, it still looks very pretty. Oh, look at this one. Oh my God, I cleaned these plants yesterday for the video, and I didn't notice that they have so many new blooms coming in. I really like how this white one looks like. It does look like plastic, I'll tell you, but the beauty of this plant is amazing. Amazing, beautiful. Maybe one day they will start to cultivate other anthuriums that are expensive right now, and will make it for us easier to get them and enjoy their blooms. But these plants are really, really beautiful. So that's it. I think everyone has one of these plants in their house, but if you don't, tell me why you don't have them. And if you do, why is that choice? Thank you.